Fred Dryer Sports Show. The all-pro defensive end, the acting legend. This man is an incredible guy. And we're going to do something special on the show today, so buckle up and get ready. We got Corey Marino, our producer, JD Jeremy Dayton there, yours truly, Michael Horn. Fred, how you doing this week?
I think I know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be eating finger sandwiches.
We will do that after the show.
Sounds good.
We will, because it's such a good show. Whose idea was this, by the way, to put kind of like a Fred Dryer tribute together? Was it Corey or JD?
This is Corey. I think he was watching Hunter all last week.
Yeah. Got inspired.
Corey is very much... Corey, what'd you think, first off, Corey? It's a good show, right?
I think, it's a great show.
What season? Do you know what season you're watching?
The second season, I think.
Yeah, it gets even better in the third.
The first season isn't something I would not recommend in terms of spending your time doing it.
You got to see it, Fred.
But for the record, you should be on call to at least say yes, I have seen it and I moved on.
Your car is a pile of junk. I mean, we got to set up a couple of things here, and then things start to iron out for you. Everybody seems to shout and yell at you like we do here at CRN, and this is going to be great. We're going to get Fred's thoughts and intros on kind of the origins and development of Fred Dryer as Rick Hunter, and get into that now. How's your week going, though, Fred? Is it doing well?
Well, it goes like every other week goes, and it's fun. I get to go to the store whenever I want.
Good.
So, I'm in there.
All right, that's kind of what we wanted to know. What you're doing now. All right, that's our show. It's a little 3-minute vignette. No, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about the beginnings of his football career, the beginnings of Hunter, and turning that into a massive legacy, so much so that he's been invited to be all around the country, doing some great things, signing autographs, and so much more. I'm Michael Horn. Fred Dryer's here. Corey Marino, JD Jeremy Dayton. Settle back, relax. Get ready. Take some notes here. Grab a pencil and paper. It's the Fred Dryer Show. Yes.
What if your next getaway felt like an escape to paradise? Welcome to Atlantis, where luxury meets excitement, right in the heart of northern Nevada. Step onto the casino floor and feel the energy of hundreds of slots, table games, and non-stop action. Hungry? Atlantis is home to award-winning dining, from fresh sushi and steakhouse classics to indulgent buffets and handcrafted cocktails. Need to unwind? Float into the relaxation of the spa. Soak in the indoor or outdoor pools, or simply take in the breathtaking Sierra views from your beautifully appointed room. And with world-class entertainment, shopping, and easy access to Lake Tahoe Adventure, Atlantis is more than a resort. It's the experience you've been waiting for. For reservations, call 775-825-4700. That's 775-825-4700. Or visit atlantiscasino.com, atlantiscasino.com.
What's better than a great conversation? How about a great conversation paired with unforgettable cheese? At Harmony Cheese, we don't just make cheese, we craft moments. Wisconsin-made, rich, creamy, bursting with flavor. Our cheeses turn any gathering into a celebration. Whether it's our fan-favorite cheddar or our bold new 6-pepper cheese, every bite is a harmony of taste and tradition. And now, CRN Talk listeners get an exclusive treat, 10% off your first order at HarmonyCheese.com with the code CRNTalk. That's CRN Talk. Don't wait. Stock your fridge. Impress your friends. Just treat yourself. Our new gift boxes are the perfect way to say I care without saying a word. Wrapped, ready, and guaranteed to wow. HarmonyCheese.com. Taste the conversation. Share the love. That's HarmonyCheese.com. Say CRN Talk.
Hi, everyone. Super Bowl champ Vernon Davis here from Legal Help Center. If you've been injured in an accident and think you deserve compensation, listen up, because we have legal professionals standing by right now to answer your questions for free. You can find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth. The call is free, the consultation is free, and you can speak with a live agent right now. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident of any kind, call now to find out if you have a case and how much you could potentially get.
Thanks, Vernon. You heard it, folks. If you've been injured, call and find out how much you qualify for. Call 800-340-5200. That's 800-340-5200. 800-340-5200. Advertisement sponsored by Legal Help Center. May not be available in all states. Not available in California.
Welcome back. It's the Fred Dreyer Show. I'm Michael Horn with Corey Marino, our producer, Jeremy Dayton, our producer, and the star of our show, the one and only Fred Dreyer. By the way, you saw how that phone started to ring there when they started talking about getting some help for you legally. 800-340-5200. That's pretty important. Get that taken care of. I don't know. Are you ever on the other end of that line, Fred?
Am I what now?
Are you ever on the other end of that 800-340-5200 to help people with some legal problems?
Oh yeah, I'm always referring people to other people. And the fun
That's
thing
good.
about it is,
Yes.
a lot of them don't know it.
Yeah, you do voices. It's good. All right, let's get into it now. We're going to start with Hunter.
What are we doing today anyway?
What is Hunter doing?
Now what are we doing here today? What's
We're going to talk about Hunter, the origins and development of the show, and then we're going to get into your football career. But a lot of people write into us and say, what the heck? How did Fred go from the all-pro defensive end and then the acting legend to be Rick Hunter? That really was quite a monumental thing, and you did a great job with it. What first, Fred, drew you to the role of Rick Hunter? Did you hear about it? Did someone say, Fred, you should try out for it? How did this all come together?
I don't know about this. No, really, I don't. I mean, this is suddenly
Was there something wrong with it?
being pressed to explain myself.
I'm just wondering.
You
Just a
were just
gentle prod.
wondering. You didn't tell me you were wondering.
Hey, Corey, did you go over this with the star of our show?
This is for the archives.
This was just for everybody that when you need a sick day, everybody gets a nice still dose of what you got.
Oh yeah, well I could help you there.
Well, that's what we're going to do. So talk to us a little bit. We'll make it easy and painless. Did you hear about the role of Rick Hunter? Did you? You'd start in other
Open
things
casting.
before Rick Hunter, right?
What's that?
You start in other things before you start as Rick Hunter.
It's viral moment here.
Gee, we just went to the moon
Dun, dun,
last
dun,
week.
dun.
We went to the moon last week, and now
Did we?
it's all kind of like spiraling down to how in the hell I got a job.
Well, it's amazing. I mean,
that?
it's amazing because you are an acting legend. You're an icon in television and in movies.
Wait, a lot of people think the moon landing was fake. Were you really on Hunter? Did that really happen? Was that somebody else?
I can speak for myself. I don't know about the astronauts.
No, I mean, was that? Are you really Fred Dreyer? Are you really an actor?
Yes, he is. So, did you have input in shaping Hunter's character before the series launched? I mean, did they come to you with this idea, saying like, "We got a great thing, and we think you're the guy for this, Fred Dreyer"? And then what happened?
Well, look, in this business that is no longer here, by the way.
What do you mean?
I'm technically and without any prevailing excuse, I'm a washed-up, finished actor.
No, you're not.
See,
My
now
gosh, you
this is
get-
what. I'll talk about this.
Yes.
I say that from with all modesty. And
Okay.
you say no.
Yes.
Well, give me a job.
That's appreciated.
Well, we got a job here. You're a radio star. You got to become a radio star, and we happen to throw video with it.
No, I don't think
No?
so. No, I don't.
I wouldn't say washed up. I'd say retired.
Well, I am retired, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say washed up is because the industry is washed up here.
It is.
Yeah, it is. How,
I mean, if you-
how do you figure that happen?
I don't know, but when you watch things on TV nowadays, the scripts are trite. They're poorly written, and I don't know. You can kind of, if the series has 10 characters, they rest 7 of them and only use 3 so they can save money. I don't like that.
Well, every one of the shows that are on network TV, I guess you can say network anymore, but
Yeah.
they've copied shows, successful combinations of shows from the past.
Yes.
And ours is one of them because of the magnitude of response that we have gotten globally from people who really like the characters. Remember, you can write a television show and have people write in, say, "Gee, I really like this show," and they say, "What do you like about it?" And they say, "Well, we like the characters," and not too many people are going to want to know all the tidbits about the show. Then suddenly the show takes off and is a huge hit, and now everybody wants to know all about everything about the show, how
Right.
it started, who's doing what, and so that's what we have here.
Yeah, it is, and it just seems that in the current day here, the shows are a little more trite, a little more.
Woke.
You're able to go ahead and guess what's going to be happening. They aren't written with a lot of background and development, but they are there. And like I say, they may have a cast of 10, but they only use 3 people on a particular episode, and then 3 different people come back the next time. They're saving money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's.
I mean, you had a whole series of guys. You had the police captain. You had other people working on the police force. You had your partner, Stephanie Kramer. You were in it. I mean, this is a big deal. You must get this when people come and get an autograph from you. They must have questions asking you about the role or a favorite episode or something of that nature, because you became part of their life. And I'm talking about the viewer's life as they would go ahead and watch you on the show each week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can apply the same formulaic explanation to your profession,
Yes.
or to Corey's profession and Jeremy here, and it gets to be, after a while, real quickly, it gets to be boring. What are we going to do with this? Where are you going to play this thing? You going to play it on days that I'm not here?
It's like Ecclesiastes, King Solomon, vanity, vanity. Everything is vanity under the sun. It's like
I'm retired because I don't want to do things like this.
I gotcha.
That's why
What do you-
people like hearing from you, though.
It's just it's flattering.
Yes.
But so was everybody else's. The gas station guy that I got gas with this afternoon, he came out. He was very affable, and he was a real good guy, and he just had a way. That if I would have stayed there, I'd still be talking to him.
That's
Well,
awesome.
True.
That's what it's all
That's
about.
true. And so you got to kind of break away.
He didn't know who I was.
He didn't?
No. I didn't tell him. Is that what this is? Okay, Fred, come on in and tell everybody that you don't know who you are so we can ask you questions. Jesus, Lord.
Do you know who I am?
I don't think Fred Dreyer's the kind of guy who, do you know who
No.
I am?
See, here he
He's
goes
not.
again.
No, he's not.
Here he goes
That's what
again.
Mike does at the gas station.
What do I do?
Do you know who I am? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't do that.
Of course
I mean,
you don't.
Come on, I want to find out about the great Rick Hunter and
I
and how
don't
this
want
whole
to
thing
talk
started.
about this. Danny.
All right, we'll take a break, come back with more. Stay with us.
What do you call charging thousands of dollars for hearing aids? At MD Hearing, we call it outrageous, because hearing should not be a privilege for the rich. It's a basic need everyone deserves. Hi, I'm Dr. Sandra Porps, head of audiology at MD Hearing. If you or a loved one have trouble hearing but don't want to waste thousands for a hearing aid, MD Hearing was created for you by doctors and audiologists. A high-quality, FDA-registered hearing aid for a fraction of the price. No costly doctor visits, no expensive and time-consuming fittings, no bulky old-fashioned hearing aids that cost thousands. The MD Hearing Neo is just $297 per pair. It's rechargeable and fits discreetly in your ear. Even better, it lets you hear what you've been missing at a savings of more than 90% off the average price of a traditional hearing aid.
Try MD Hearing risk-free for 45 days by calling 800-969-0121. Plus, you'll get free shipping. Call now, 800-969-0121. That's 800-969-0121.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 800-395-7074. 800-395-7074. 800-395-7074. That's 800-395-7074.
Welcome back. It's the Fred Dreyer Show, the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend. I'm Michael Horn, Corey Marino, J.D. Jeremy Dayton, and the one and only Fred Dreyer. We just are going through these NFL draft sign-ups here today, and that's always a big deal. Fred, how do you know that you're going to be up for the draft? Do they tell you that when you're like in college or something and say, hey, look, you're going to be up for a draft thing if you want to do it, or do you apply for it? How does that work?
It's a different animal now, right?
Well, now you're everybody that's got a football uniform on at any type of level, high school, college, junior college, professional level, everybody in that category is susceptible to inquiry from college sports and pro football. And I'm not unlike any other person, except that I happen to make it through the maze. And now now I have my own TV show where I have to ask myself questions.
Yeah. Well, it's changed. As you mentioned over there, everybody, if you miss out on the draft one year, I guess you can come back the next year as well?
Well, if you're trying to become a professional football player,
Yep.
then tomorrow would be a very interesting day for you.
Why?
You should have already been contacted if you have any sports value to the National Football League at all.
Interesting.
And so if you don't, you won't. There's 7 rounds for players to be chosen, and all of these people who are just dying to be drafted is a real good thing, because as opposed to my draft day, I was the 13th player picked.
Wow.
In the draft, and they gave me $25,000.
Jeez.
Today, this first player, Mendoza, quarterback, is going to probably get $25 to $45 million.
Unbelievable.
And he's already made how much in NIL?
And he's been paid to play high school, college football. So
unbelievable.
So look, that's okay, but you know, there's when you break it down, you don't have, you really don't have a choice of where you're gonna go, but all you have to do is be a valuable commodity, and you can tell them, this is what you're going to do with your selection of me. This is where I'm going. This is who I'm. This is what I'm doing. You've heard the stories of quarterbacks in college saying that they're not going to be a puppet, and we want to be traded to the San Diego Chargers, or we want to be traded to the Giants. And anybody with any brains at all would say, oh, yeah, let's go, just trade me to the Giants. Well, we're not doing that. You're not telling us. We're drafting you. You're not drafting us. Oh, want to bet? So today, everybody has their underwear in a clump, because all of the choices you have are the players' choices. If you're a commodity, if not, then you might as well get in the back of the line.
It's amazing. When you were drafted on the day of your draft, do you remember, what do you remember most vividly? You actually came out of San Diego State. Was there interest? Were there people asking about you, so you knew you were going to have some people asking you to come to their team?
Well, I show up in San Diego to play with the college down there, San Diego State, and I go out to practice, and there's like about 35 scouts scattered all over the field, and they're looking at everybody. They're getting information. They're getting all the statistics that you need to bore people to death with. And so the coach will come over and tell his players, away from the maddening crowd, he'd come over and just tell them that these guys are going to fill out a dossier on you. they're gonna ask you questions. If you don't want to participate, speak up now.
Interesting.
But we here at San Diego State, Don Coryell et al. is there to promote his program. He wants the players to want to be drafted.
Right.
So it's a business for both sides, and what they don't want, what ownership and what the league doesn't want, is to have to deal with you. I say you, the players, and you, Mike, and deal with you. See that guy over there? See that guy that looks
I'm
like,
the monkey wrench.
yeah, go talk to him. He'll fill you in.
So you don't have an agent or anything like that.
Well,
You're
you
on
do.
your own.
Well, you
do?
You do. You do, because you kind of, the word of mouth is, oh, here comes that guy, and we're going to need to talk to him. And then when they start to open their mouth, it's up to the length and the width of your knowledge about the position that you're in, is that you don't have you're not going to be able to dictate to all these people. What you want to do is give them information. Yes, this is how big my leg is and my arm, and this is how fast I can run, and here's all the stuff. Well, do you think it would be okay if we timed you? And today, it's a huge business. I mean, I reluctantly took part in what I was asked to do back in 1967 and 68, which seems like a long time ago. And I never really thought about, hey, wait a minute, start asking them questions. Tell them you're not going to ask questions because it's leading nowhere, and I don't want to commit myself until I have proper representation. And so somebody in your family, your cousin, your neighbor, somebody at the school, who's a legal genius that wants to ask you if you need representation, you can do that. But you can find representation. And I found John Thomas. I found him in Westwood. He was a friend of a friend. And so he came down to San Diego and said, I've been talking to other scouts and other coaches, and he says you should know that you have this value, and it starts there. It starts in that direction.
Do your coaches help you at all? You mentioned Don Coryell. In the day, back when you were at San Diego State, my gosh, it was like a who's who of coaches. Don Coryell, John Madden, Joe Gibbs, Ernie Zampese. Who am I missing out here?
Well, I think you covered.
I got four out of the
Joe
five.
Gibbs. I think you left out Joe Gibbs. Didn't you?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
We had good coaches, good football teams, and most of the time, we had a real good camaraderie amongst the players and coaches and alumni. Everybody wanted to be drafted, but nobody really had. Nobody really had the insight at that time to know, well, wait a minute. I mean, before, you start saying, you're going to draft me and, the Bears are we want to fly you back. I said, no, just do me a favor and don't bother me. Just don't bother me. And later on, if we get there together, then we'll kind of talk about it. But by that time, I'm going to get my uncle who lives in Manhattan Beach, and he's going to speak for me. So
that's good.
So he'll be over there, and that's where you should be, over there with him.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break, come back with more. It's a lot different than it is now. Everybody hangs out around the person that's looking to get drafted. Fred Dryer handled his own stuff by picking his own people. We'll have more straight ahead.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not as art. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
It's time to rediscover Ka'anapali Resort on Maui. Goodbye stress and work. Hello paradise and fun. Restaurants, hotels, golf, spas, hiking, shopping, activities of all kinds, or just lounging on the beach and listening to the waves. Visit Ka'anapaliResort.com, KAANAPALI Resort.com. Ka'anapali Resort on the west side of Maui.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-510-1592. 800-510-1592. 800-510-1592.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission, license number DCA3. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debts may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
We're Sell My House Fast, and we've been buying unwanted houses for cash fast for 25 years. We buy old houses, new houses, abandoned houses, all types of houses, and we'll buy your unwanted house for cash fast. If you're relocating, inherited a home you don't want, if you've got a tenant you really don't want, Sell My House Fast will buy it fast. If you're behind on taxes, want to avoid foreclosure, if you're going through a divorce or just need cash fast, we'll buy your house at a fair cash price, and we'll close fast too. Sell with us and there's no real estate agent, which means no real estate commissions. We'll do all the repairs, all the cleaning and cleanup. We've got hundreds of Google 5-star reviews because our offers are fair and the process transparent. Call now to connect with a qualified local buyer. Call 1-800-743-0546. 1-800-743-0546. 1-800-743-0546.
Welcome back to the one and only Fred Dryer Radio Show. I'm Michael Horn with our producers Corey Marino and JD Jeremy Dayton, and the one and only all-pro defensive end, the acting legend, Fred Dryer. Corey, we got one coach I know we're missing, and I looked up and got another name, but there's one more. We had Don Coryell, Joe Gibbs, Ernie Zampese, John Madden. I got Sid Hall, but there's one other, a defensive coach or something that I think we got to remember was there.
Oh, no, you left out.
Who?
You left out. What? Oh God, what's his name?
Oh, I know, I can't think of it.
Rod Dowhauer.
Rod Dowhauer, you got it, buddy. Forget it, Corey. We don't need your work.
Thank you.
That's a bunch of great coaches. Let me ask you this. How did that prepare you for the NFL as opposed to now when a player's got maybe one or two coaches? You had this all-star coaching group that you could go to and ask for advice, Fred.
Well, everybody did.
Yeah.
Everybody in their respective teams had head coaches, position coaches, and it wasn't a big deal at that. Once you got drafted, you had your agents talk to the head of the organization, and you would talk off camera, and after practice, you would go and have a session, a negotiation session, and you pick away at it. Some people chose not to talk about it, and I was in New York, so I told my attorney, I said I don't want to come home for practice and have to talk to some guy I don't know and about my contract and my future. I said that's not fair to me. So I said I'm not going to talk to you about it. If I have to, to do it, then you're going to have to fly back to New York and you're going to have to talk to him or talk to him on the phone.
Exactly.
So you work it out that way. And I'm not being hostile. I'm just, it's once the music starts, it's just a steamroller, boy.
I'm telling you, I know when you played out your option, and at the end of your first go-round, and they didn't know what to think. You sort of took it on yourself to say, I'm playing out my option. So you were really open to any team to go ahead and sign you, correct?
Well, I was under the impression that I would have an opportunity to get as much money as I could negotiate.
Right.
And of course, I wouldn't be making the money that Fran Tarkington made, or other guys on the team. I wouldn't know how I would go about doing that. But so I had to kind of really bone up on what is going on in the National Football League. What is a guaranteed contract? And can I get one of those, a guaranteed contract? No, you can't. You can't have it because the league doesn't honor no trade guaranteed contracts. I said, well, what are we talking about then? And so for 3 years, 69, after I got my $25,000. And every time I remember standing out in the field ready for some sort of a scrimmage or something, and I started really getting pissed off. I mean, really. So I walked off the sideline, and I think I asked Jim Trimble, who was an assistant to Mr. Mara, and I just said. I said, I don't feel, I come to practice every day, and I have to struggle with the football rules and regulations, and that's fun. That can be fun, but I don't think it's fun, to be here and try and negotiate with attorneys and stuff. So I'm not gonna talk to you. you know, so you, as I said before, you just make sure that you call my attorney from now on, and then when he wants to talk to me to give me a pep talk or give me a reason to talk to him that there's movement in the contract, then he'll do so. And that's a good idea. That's that's insightful. I said, that's just common sense.
It's something else.
It's common sense. So we did all that. We had fun, and the giant people were fun, and it's just I said, so if I said I'm going to sign this contract. This is a $25,000 contract with a bonus after I make the squad. So I'm going to wind up pulling away the first year after being the 13th player picked. I'm going to wind up having a nice $32,500 contract that's not guaranteed. So how do I get that money if I'm not playing? If I get hurt, what happens? And that was the whole thing with them trying to figure out how do we talk to him about what the contract is. And I said, this is what my attorneys should be talking to you about, from LA on the phone. So won't you guys get together, get over there and do what you do, and then I'll fill it in later on. And so I signed the first contract, and that had an option with it. All contracts then, and some do today, have contracts that are mandatory, that are no cut. No cut contracts that I wanted to talk about, and of course, that's not going to happen. And one of the things that I realized is I'm going to play the first year on one contract and an option. Then I came back the second year. I had a very good first rookie year. And I came back the second year, and I did the same thing. And so there I was signing 1-year contracts with an option. I said, okay, wow. I'll sign that contract, but what's going to happen here pretty quick, and it did, was going into the third year, I said, I'm not going to sign this contract. I'm going to play on the option. So that option was meant for me to play in good faith and to show up, and I would get 37, 40, almost $40,000 as a player, and then we would see at the end of the year where we are. Well, they came back and said, if you play your option out and we allow that, then I said, wait a minute, what do you mean you allow it? I said, I'm negotiating my position here with this team. That's what I'm doing. So I said, let's do this. Let's not play tag anymore. Let's just go out and try to win some freaking games. And by that time, as I was into the third year with them, and that wasn't looking very good. And so they kind of said, well, oh, you're going to play your option out? I goes, yeah, I'll play the option out. So at the end of the year, we get a contract or we don't. And so the end of the year showed up, into the third year, and I wound up a very knowledgeable on my position. I had all kinds of people coming over to my not to my apartment. I wouldn't let them do that. I had a lot of people coming over to me and wanting to explain something to me. It's like, we want to tell you that the dog you love is dead. It's dead. But damn it, we really feel bad about that. And so that was kind of like where they were with it. And I just said, look, come March 17th of 1971, I'm going to be a free agent because I've been allowed to play out the option side of the one-year contract. And they said, that's right, yeah. I said, okay, that's it. I said, come draft day on March, I'm no longer the property of the New York Giants. Thank you. So before they could do anything, they signed me to the Patriots in a trade.
So they traded you.
So they traded me while I'm still under the controls of the National Football League.
Wow.
So I just said, okay, fine. So May 1st, yeah, that's what it was. May 1st shows up, and I get a knock on the door, and it's Upton Bell, general manager of the New England Football Patriots. And he's here to tell me how bitchin' it's going to be in New England.
And 1 year.
And that lasted about 2 weeks of negotiation, bullshit negotiations. And then I said, look at you guys, you better sign me, otherwise you're going to have a big problem, and it's not going to be something that I can help you with. So I wasn't a very popular guy, but
Hang on here. We'll get the finalized story here. Stay with us on the Fred Dreyer Show.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-561-6320 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as 1 day. Just dial 1-800-561-6320 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-561-6320 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
I don't even recognize myself anymore.
I'm really worried about him. His addiction. I haven't seen him like this. Ever.
Hey, look, I never wanted to start using. I knew the drill, but I was out of options.
I just want to tell him it's not your fault. There are people out there who can help. People who have felt your pain. They know what you're going through.
This has to stop. I'm losing everything. Everyone.
You've been strong your whole life. You can do this, but you have to reach out for help.
It's time. I can do this.
Addiction is a disease, and diseases need treatment.
Call Quit Drugs 321 now. 800-324-1524. 800-324-1524. That's 800-324-1524. Paid for by the Detox and Treatment Helpline.
Looking for a pharmacy that truly understands your unique health needs? At Integrity Compounding, we go beyond the ordinary. We specialize in creating custom compounded medications for patients of all ages and even your furry friends. Whether you need solutions for pain management, sports medicine, natural hormone replacement, dermatology, veterinary care, even ivermectin, our expert pharmacists tailor every formula with precision and care. For over 25 years, we've been trusted by major professional sports leagues and the U.S. Olympic Committee to deliver top-tier compounded medications. All our compounds require a doctor's prescription, and we proudly serve patients and physicians across California. And with our mail order service, we're just a phone call away. Stop by Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. or give us a call at 855-826-6768. 855-826-6768. At Integrity Compounding, your health is our priority. Integrity Compounding, personalized care, better outcomes. 855-826-6768.
What a show. Fred Dreyer Show. I'm Michael Horn, Tori Marino, Jeremy Dayton, our producer, the one and only Fred Dreyer. So we got Fred Dreyer declaring free agency after he was traded to the New England Patriots. And what happens, Fred?
Well, New England came out here hoping to sign me before my contract expired.
Right.
And I said, look, here's what you're going to do. You're going to run up against the drop-dead date, which is May 1st. That's coming up here because it's April now. So here's the deal. We're going to give you a list of teams. Not many, because we ain't got all day either. Not many. And we want you to trade me to one of these three teams. And he says, well, you know, Mr. Sullivan, who owns the Patriots, I said, stop. I'm not addressing Mr. Sullivan anymore. I'm addressing my contract, which is dying, which has got a lot, a bunch of money on it. And so he comes back to me that next night and says, okay, here's what we're going to do. This is 1973. He says to me, I've got a offer from Mr. Sullivan in this envelope. I said, really? So my contract went from $57,000 to $275,000.
Unbelievable.
Just by me telling them, you're not doing anything unless I approve of it.
Wow.
And I'll fill you in later, but
we're going to continue this on another show. Fred Dreyer, genius, not only as a player, but as a great negotiator. If you miss anything, log on to our website, thefreddryershow.com. Genius Fred. Thank you all so much for joining us. Email Fred with questions, freddryer@crntalk.com. Thank you, Corey Marino. Thank you, JD, Jeremy Dayton.
If anyone should ask, you're listening to CRN Digital Talk Radio.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump is